Hey everybody! We recently hit 500 subscribers, so as a way to celebrate, I'm going to be doing a short little Q&A with questions from you guys. I don't want to waste too much time, so we will get right into it. So, Dom Sheridan 44 asks, what is my favorite knife and brand? And I'm going to look at this in a few ways. So, my favorite balisong currently is the Vulp Pro right here, this bad boy. This is my current favorite balisong. Now, favorite company that I own a product of is gonna go to, I'm gonna give it to Nabali's. Squid Industries, I also own their products. Great company, very close second. You know, could change depending on the day. But I feel that Nabali's has been doing a lot more innovation and just having success after success in the hobby. And Squid is they were kind of doing a few missteps. They've had QC issues in the past. Nabali's has just been incredibly solid, and I think that's why I'm going to put them at #1 over Squid. Now, favorite knife brand or favorite balisong brand that I don't own, well, I'm gonna give it to Machine Wise, and I will say that Fellowship Blades is a close second. Some of you may or may not know my favorite balisong design. So, you know, favorite knife, favorite balisong. My favorite design is the Medusa from Fellowship Blades. I would love to own a Medusa one day. You know, you never know. It could happen. But, yeah, I think that Machine Wise is an excellent company. Of course, they recently announced they're going to be discontinuing the Manor platform, discontinuing the Slift T, the Prisma Pro. So, of course, we're all kind of holding our breath there, waiting to see what exactly they're going to come out with next. But I do think that I'll still give them favorite company because they just make incredible stuff. I have never heard anyone say anything bad about them, and I would love to try their products. I was planning to buy a Prisma Pro when I got the funds, so probably over the summer. But they got discontinued, so who knows. But yeah, was that. We'll move on to the next question. So, from Tefrax9714, we got a few questions. How long have you been in the hobby? Well, I have been flipping balisongs for over 2 years. Let's see. Probably about 2.25 years, well, close to 2.5 years if you want to be exact. That is how long I have been in the flipping hobby. Obviously, for 2.5 years, I'm not that good. There's people that are way better that have been flipping for way less time. Because to me, it's not really about the skill level, it's kind of about the journey, and it's about doing things that you think are fun. And finding a flow. Flow is very good too. What is my most expensive balisong? So, my most expensive balisong is the Squid Industries Nautilus V2. It is a winter Nautilus, and it is orange colored. You've probably seen it on my channel. I love that balisong very much. For the longest time, that was my favorite balisong, until it kind of recently got overthrown by the Vulp Pro false live blade. So, hardest trick. Now I'm not really sure if you mean hardest trick ever, hardest trick that I know. I don't think I could really give an opinion on the hardest balisong trick ever, so I think you mean the hardest trick that I know. At least that's what I'm going to answer. I think it might be the shortstop. I struggled with the shortstop for a long time. Still do, so shortstop. Yep, maybe. So it could be the shortstop. Backhand fans, I know I struggled with for a while. Choker fans, I was also really struggling with for a while. So the double scissor, like that, definitely a contender. Double scissor, right there, boom. But I honestly think in terms of the hardest trick that I can do, I'm gonna give it to the Z choker. Now obviously my Z chokers are very clean and I can do them all day, every day, pretty much no mistakes. But that trick took me a week to learn. And I don't mean a week of a few attempts a day. I mean, I spent hours every single day just trying to get the catch until eventually I got it. So, because of that, I'm probably going to have to say that is the hardest trick that I know. For some of you, it might not be the hardest trick, but that's the trick that took me the longest to learn. So therefore, I'm going to call it the hardest. Now, Dead Hand Backbone asks, can we see you on Insta anytime soon? Well, surprise, surprise, I am on Insta, and I have been on Insta for a long time. My account is at JakeFlipsBalisongs. If it doesn't look like this, then it is not my account. This is my account. Moving on. We have Buffer Zen. He says he has a few questions. How long have you been flipping? Like I said earlier, about 2.5 years. How did I get into this hobby? That is a great question. And the answer is I'm not really sure. I've known about balisongs for a very long time, but I do distinctly remember being I was at a scout camp out, and when I was really young, one of the older scouts there, he had one of those rainbow butterfly knives you can get off of Amazon, the really cheap, crappy ones. And he was off, you know, by himself with some of his buddies and kind of messing around with it. And I saw that, and I thought that was just the coolest thing. I thought it looked super cool, and I kind of wanted one, but that was kind of that. Then, of course, from Team Fortress 2, I don't really play it, but I knew about it, and the spy in that game has a butterfly knife, a balisong. So I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, those things, those are cool. And then I believe from there, I first made a Lego balisong, which I no longer have, it died. But I first made a Lego balisong, and I used that for maybe a week or two, until eventually I bought my first balisong 2.5 years ago. So that is kind of the story of how I got into the hobby. I discovered balisongs, never owned one, forgot about them, rediscovered them, Lego, then I bought one. Now, what balisong would you recommend for beginners? Well, alright, I don't want to give a blanket statement on what is best for everybody, but I will say this. If you're looking to get your very first balisong, my recommendation is the Nibali's Vulp. It is a complete package deal, has everything you're going to need. Now, if you have any other questions and would like to say what your budget is in the comments, I would be happy to give my recommendations based on specific budgets, but just flat out, first balisong, Nibali's Vulp. And that is the last question that we have. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Any video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I read all the comments. I'll probably be answering all the questions you guys leave and such. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. It is a crazy milestone that I'm really happy that we hit. So yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. Thank you all so much. Hope you've all enjoyed. Have a great day, and until next time, keep flipping.